All right, gang, here we are. It is official. We are at the second half of our course. Now we're in 1102. Let's talk a little bit about the wrap up for 1101 first. So, you turned in your persuasive argumentative essays with your research involved. As of you all seeing this video, okay? So they're due by the third Sunday, and it's still the customary 2-week turnaround time. I'm going to try my best to get them back to you. I have a lot of grading to do. I will tell you that right now. I have some backlogged assignments for our class that I still need to evaluate and record in the grade book, and then I have your research essays that you've just turned in. So I'm going to be very busy grading for us within the next 2 weeks. Here's the only rub. The course for 1101 is going to close, okay? And then the course for 1102 is now open, okay? Once the course for 1101 closes, you as a student cannot re-access it. You can't go back in and view your grades, everything, because the course is completed, okay? And I've already coordinated with our tech support team. They really can't open it longer than the assigned time. You guys might get this week within which still to operate inside of it. I'm not sure. It's worth checking, okay? And if you can't get in 1101 to see what your grades are, within the next 2 weeks, as I'm grading your research essays, you are free to reach out to me and say, hey, how did I do on my final paper? What's my final grade? I am happy to email you both your final grade and your final paper. You all have continued from 1101 to 1102, every individual in this class, which means everyone in 1102 got at least a C or better, okay? You can't proceed to 1102 without first having received at least a C in the course, okay? So barring something extraordinary, if you really crap the bed, let's say, in that research essay, I mean, disastrously so, I don't see how you're going to wreck yourself into 1102. That being said, I didn't see anybody submit a rough draft or anything with regard to research on this final paper. I've given some guidance to individual students on topics and how to go about researching Galileo, but I didn't get any rough draft versions to review. So, hey, at your own risk, it's voluntary. Okay, fine, but just thought I'd put that out there. Okay, so let's shift gears now to talking about 1102 specifically. We are reading short stories in this course. We are reading poems in this course. And then we're going to finish with a piece of Renaissance era drama. Okay, we're not reading a Shakespearean play. We are reading a play by a contemporary of Shakespeare's, Christopher Marlowe, his play Dr. Faustus. And there's actually an act and scene that is in our text, which, let me remind you, is backpack literature. Okay, so that's going to be the basis for our final research essay, the Christopher Marlowe act and scene contained in our backpack literature text. And we're going to get into that in more detail as the weeks unfold. But I just want to put that out there in the back of your mind. Be thinking about that. Go ahead, look at the syllabus, okay? You guys kind of get my style by now. Miss Evans and I back at it. The dynamic duo here to return to help you guys. Let's talk about what you have for this week. You have 2 stories to read. One is by Eudora Welty, Why I Live at the P.O., okay? The post office, okay? A Southern writer there, okay? So read that story. And then you have questions 1 through 4 in the back of the story. Those are going to be due by the end of the week, Sunday. Okay, that's the 10th. Then, in addition, you have a discussion forum that's going to open this Wednesday, the 6th, which will conclude the following Wednesday, the 13th. And don't worry, I've got the discussion forum synced up with what I'm telling you this time. I realize I made a bit of a mistake last week with that discussion forum. I apologize for that. So this one will be open the 6th through the 13th, and it is on the Edgar Allan Poe story, The Telltale Heart. Okay, so 2 stories to read this week. Eudora Welty, Why I Live at the P.O., and then the Edgar Allan Poe story, The Telltale Heart. You're going to have a discussion forum at the midpoint of the week. The discussion questions for the Welty story released at the beginning of this week and ending by Sunday the 10th. So 2 stories to read this week, guys. So do that. Anything else we need to discuss? I'm trying to think. Go ahead and look at the grade breakdown for how the course is assessed. I have more weight on classwork and homework and discussion forums. Excuse me, I think I had it at 15% for 1101. I think it's raised this term to at least 5 to 10 percentage points more, okay? So this is all designed to make the weekly work, I'm looking at the syllabus now, the class homework has jumped from 15% in 1101 now to 35%, okay? My whole reason of doing that is I consider this half of the course to be a little more advanced, let's say, because we're reading stories and poems and kind of trying to tease out meaning and talk to each other about how we interpret these stories and the meaning we get out of them. To me, that takes a little bit more brain power and responsibility on your behalf. So the work that you reflect, I think, should count for more, okay? What this means is if you're really good with banging out consistent quality class homework, you're not getting zeros for them, by the way, meaning you're doing the work, okay? You are going to sit much prettier this go around, okay? Our first literary analysis is 15%. We have 2 brief literary analysis essays in this course. Your second one's 20%, and then the final research essay is 30%. So the stakes are a little higher here, okay? But the good news is class and homework counts for much more, over double what it was for 1101. Okay, so please take each and every week seriously, guys. Don't check out at all, okay? Work diligently. Be in contact with me, with Miss Evans. Do the work for this week. That's a good start, okay? And most of you do, okay? Most of you do a good job. We're bringing back blogs. I don't have any enabled for week 1. I'll start for week 2, okay? Same idea, blogs are going to count as bonus for your final essay, okay? So when I read your 1101 essays, don't worry, I'm going to go comb back through the blogs and make sure that I add the couple of points for each submission that you made onto that final essay, okay? So quickly, to recap, within the next 2 weeks, your 1101 final essays are going to be recorded in the gradebook. You might not be able to see them if you are checking in next week. Our course is going to close, if not the beginning of this week, by the end of this week for sure, okay? And there's nothing I could do about that. I've tried in the past. Trust me, it can't be done. But if you want to know your grade, an explanation of your grade, your course grade for 1101, you are free to ask me that via email. Now, I'm not going to get to those until next week, though, so you're not going to have your final course grade for 1101 and your research essay graded for 1101 until next week, most likely, okay? So 1101 is done. It's in the rearview mirror. Hello, 1102. We're reading Why I Live at the P.O. by Eudora Welty. Okay, those questions there, questions 1 through 4, are due Sunday the 10th. Point of View, The Telltale Heart, same chapter we're in, but now we're reading Edgar Allan Poe for your discussion forum. That opens Wednesday the 6th, ends next Wednesday the 13th. There's going to be a couple questions there. Same forum rules apply. You contribute your individual post, and to get full credit, you have to reply to at least one other student's original post. Okay, so happy to be back with you guys. Let's have a great second half of the term and have a great week, folks. Let's do it. Let's get it.